everybody. This is a great song by John Mellencamp off the Lonesome Jubilee album. I think it's Rockdes, R-O-C-D-E-S, had suggested this, and I take suggestions. They're fine. I'll look into the song, and if it's one of those things that I want to learn, I will learn it and share it. If it doesn't really, if it isn't something I really want to learn, it's too much. It becomes work. So, with that said, we're in standard tuning. This is a great song. I was honestly thinking about doing a John song, and this just came at the perfect time. So here we are. Got my Fender Broadcaster out. I'm playing through my Fender Bandmaster. A little reverb, little delay, a little tumness. Just pushing it just a little bit. But what we have for the intro, what you'll hear is you'll be on the 4th string, 4th fret, and we're going to bend that up a half step while we hit the 3rd string. Let that 3rd string open while you hit that 4th string bent 3 more times. Then the 4th time you want to release it. So you'll have this. And you can hit the G when you're doing this. It's real loose feeling. And then we're going to pull off from the 3rd string at the 2nd fret to open. Okay, in the intro, there's 2 guitars. It's either overdubbed or they're playing together, but one comes in just a half step off. So you'll hear this. So you'll hear the other guitar, by the time you finish your pull-off, you'll hear him doing the 4 bend release. So you can do that. It sounds fine, but I really just play the 1 guitar. So, with that said, I wrote it out for 1 guitar, but if you're going to do the other, just hit the 4 release and then another 3 pull off from the 5th string. So, the intro starts out with an A, to a D, then to a G, then to a D. And you'll hear them count in 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they start in. Alright, the rhythm is a down up, stop, and then an up down, and then a little pause, and then a down up. Alright, so we have this. Then we move to the D, G, back to D. All right, we'll go through the A, D, G, D again. The 2nd G, they will do that little lick again while he's playing through the G chord. Then we're into the verse. One other note, I'm using my bridge pickup when I do the little lick. Then I switch it to the middle pickup for a little bit. Just for a little deeper tone, and again, there's multiple instruments going on through that. But I'm in the middle pickup. We're into verse 1. The chords are just like the intro. A to D to G to D. We'll do that twice through with the verse, like I said. Then we're into the chorus. Now, the chorus, you can kind of switch to that bridge pickup again, give it a little more oomph. And the chord sequence changes a little bit. We're going to go from A to G to D, but we'll go back to G and then D. And the rhythm changes. It's more of a full strumming. All right. So we got Rooty Toot Toot. Okay. And we 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so our GD after our, okay, so we have A, G, D, then we come back to G and D, that's kind of a half measure each. Okay? Then the second half of the chorus, A to G and D, alright, but then we switch it up from G back to A, half measure each. Rooty Toot, okay? Then you'll hear the lick again. Then we're into verse 2. Verse 2 exactly like the first verse. And then we have the break. This is where things change a little bit. And I'll show you a way to cheat on this, if you will, if you're not used to playing F sharp over D. So for the break, it'll sound like this. Alright, what we're doing is a G chord, and we're going to play down, up, down, up. Then we switch to our F sharp over D and play an up, down. So if you're not familiar with an F sharp over D, it's really after our G chord, we're going to switch with our first finger to the second fret of the 6th string, move that middle finger down to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. Our ring finger will be there already, and we're not going to play the E string. All right. All right, that's intricate because in the second break, they do it twice through in a little bit different rhythm that's much faster. So, again, if this is something you're not used to, you can just go from a G or just play the top half of a G with your 3rd fret on the 1st and 2nd, and then go to a D chord. It sounds fine. But again, you'd be getting the bass. So it's... So, that's an F sharp over D. Alright, then after that break, we are into chorus 2. Just like chorus 1. Then we go into the... Then we're into a bridge. Okay, the bridge is different as far as chording and coming out of the chording, which takes us into a drum break and a very different rhythm. Okay, so for the bridge, what we're doing is 3 measures of D to A with the exact same rhythm we've learned. Stop. Okay, so we got D to A 3 times through, then we go G to our F sharp over D to an E, a G, and then back to A. It's more of a da-da-da to end it, and then we are into, I'm calling this the drum break because the drums kind of take over, and you hear a slight muted rhythm of the guitar. So I'm going to show you what they're doing there. Okay, so I'm going to go into this bridge and then the drum break just slightly so I don't get tagged by YouTube, but I'll show you what we're doing afterwards, all right? We've already talked about the lick into the bridge and the note, so you can see how it's strummed, and then the drum break, how that will go. Okay, so that drum break is real specific. It's very palm muted until he hits the chord. So we're going to go down, up, down, palm muted on the 5th string. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll do another one. And then 2 more. And then an A chord on the 4th and 3rd string. 2nd fret. We'll do that exact same muted rhythm, but then we go to D. So it'll be open 4th string to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. All right, so those two together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it repeats back and forth twice for a measure. So we're going to do 2 measures of that before the verse 3. Now, we'll go through one more measure as he starts verse 3, all right? After the last D, so we go A, D, A, D, then we do 2 more sets of muted, A and then D, and then the last, second measure verse, we go A, D, and then A and stop. So last measure of the verse. And he holds that until they come back in, all right, and we're going to go into break 2. Well, break 2, much quicker than break 1. Same chords. It'll sound like this. All right, so it's G, down, up, down on an F sharp over D, back to G, back to F sharp over D. Slight pause, repeat. Okay, like I said, it's done very fast. So if you want a shortcut, just play the top half of the chord with, like I said, the 1st and 2nd string, and go back and forth between your D and G. Then you're into chorus 3. Chorus 3 takes us out of the song. So we go through chorus 3 twice. A, G, D, and then G, D. And then A, G, D, and then G, A. That will repeat. And the very last outro of the song, we go into break 2 again. F to the A. And you got the whole song. So I always write these out. My tab's available right below the video for you to download and enjoy playing along with this wonderful song by John. So enjoy.